Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. I am Patrick McDonnell. I'm Secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. Real pleasure to be here with you all today. One of the things when I think about the program and the work Reading is doing under our local climate action program is, obviously we come back to climate change as the principal primary driver of what we're trying to impact. And when you think about that, you tend to talk about hundreds of millions of tons of carbon in the atmosphere or sea level rise in these large events. One of the important pieces, though, is this program and this approach, because the way both we experience climate change and the way that we will solve climate change is not at that global scale. It is individual residents, towns, cities, blocks, neighborhoods that have to deal with the adaptation and where the way that we actually solve climate is. So when we started this program back in 2019, Reading was one of the first to step up and say, we are in, we're willing to take this on. And we worked with them on development of greenhouse gas inventory. We worked with them on development of climate action plan, and now I know you'll hear in a little bit some of the work that's going on, for example, with wastewater treatment. When you start talking about it on this city scale, when you start talking about it on this municipal scale, it stops being about millions of tons of carbon and becomes about how do we improve the energy efficiency of our facilities? How do we make sure our residents understand and know, and we can support them as they look at better energy efficiency options, as they think about how they manage stormwater, as they think about all of these core things that we know are really the key part of how we are going to address climate change. One of the key pieces of this program, it really is a great collaboration between the state, using some federal Department of Energy money, working with municipalities, and working with colleges and universities to help support and provide those resources in terms of those action plans, in terms of those inventories of greenhouse gas emissions at that local level. Couldn't be happier than to be here in Reading today, celebrating the fantastic work that has gone on in the city, the fantastic work that is going on across the Commonwealth in terms of all of the approach and ways that, again, on that neighborhood by neighborhood, city by city way that we are addressing climate change. We all have a part to play. I'm so happy that the city of Reading is playing their part. So pleased to be here with you today.